This review was made possible by contributions from viewers like you.
Hey guys! Back in 2020, we looked at some comics that were made by you, the viewers. Today we're delving back into some fan creations, starting with one of my personal favorites, Bounty Jack. The first issue of Jamie Parker's Bounty Jack tells the story of a world where animals have suddenly and mysteriously become anthropomorphic, and our main character, a former pet rabbit named McKay, is now making his living as a bounty hunter of all things. However, it turns out his next hit just happens to be Sydney, his former owner, and they work together to kill the buck that put the hit on her, reigniting their old friendship. Aside from a few compositional hiccups, the artwork was very easy on the eyes, and the overall experience left me wanting to see more. Will we get an answer to the question of what made every animal in the world become human-like? How do these animals coexist with the rest of humanity? How do they coexist with themselves since becoming more than what they used to be? Luckily for me, a copy of issue number 2 was included with number 1, and that's what we're looking at today. As I said, I was a big fan of the artwork from the first issue, and I'm happy to see that this cover is showing off more of the same. I commented how the first cover was inspired from that of Cyber Kitties number 1, but unlike that comic, our Jamie Parker is taking on the artistic duties himself instead of just handing them over to whoever was available. Here we see McKay and Sydney palling it up, having a good time, just like we all wish we could do with our own long-lost pets. It's a nice image, but personally, I feel like maybe it's a little lackluster. The first issue advertised a story that was full of action, and considering the note on which the last issue ended, it seems like we'll be seeing more of that in future installments, so seeing them just hanging out feels a little off.
The first issue ended with them teaming up to take down the bad guy. Put them back to back looking badass. That'd work, right?
Absolutely. Our comic opens with, "A word from the artist." I'd like to think that if my pet not only became sentient, but was more intelligent and a better artist, my ego will be strong enough to take it. If said animal entered into a competition with me and won? Oh sure, you spend your entire life gaining knowledge and wisdom and honing your artistic skills, and then your dog comes along and outshines you after only becoming intelligent a week ago? This line of thinking was part of the inspiration for the story, as well as wanting to give Sydney and McKay time to recover from their last adventure. Oof. Don't say, time to recover in front of McKay. He's gonna twist it around into a dirty joke. It'll be just like an animal in your bed. If you know what I mean. How would a lab rat react if they had a say in the experimental process, especially since things are more humane than the pre-animal rights era? I think that rats could be properly compensated for their time and effort, much like yetis when we come to harvest their fur.
You leave Fluffy Baby alone!
For new readers, I'm including McKay's origin story from issue 1. For returning readers, thanks for coming back. And I can appreciate wanting to get new readers up to speed, but this could have been condensed just a little, I think. Dedicate the inside cover to giving McKay's backstory, then that leaves a whole 16 pages open for more story. You open on Sydney at her laptop in what looks like some kind of cave, when some loud whacking sound draws her outside to find McKay playing golf with some carrots.
How's he supposed to harvest them if he doesn't have the stems to pull on?
Maybe he can collect them from underground? And judging from the hole in the ground, it looks like McKay is living a more or less hobbit-like existence. Nice. Sydney has discovered a retreat for animals and their former owners, which is run by a rat and his former owner, but McKay isn't interested in going. Sydney reasons that with all of the enemies McKay has made during his time as a bounty hunter, it's only a matter of time before they figure out how to get to her to get to him, so he reluctantly accepts. This is how you're spending spring break? Beats getting blackout drunk and ending up on a questionable website. If I see a bowl of keys, we're leaving. Aw, he may be a horn dog, but at least he's a loyal monogamous horn dog.
And questionable websites, huh? Can't wait to see issue 3 starring Sydney on OnlyFurs.com.
They get to the retreat on McKay's motorcycle, without wearing helmets because that's safe, and apparently it's being run by Tammy from CyberKitties, except she's a human now. Welcome to Kitty Uni! Welcome, Ornithologist Cuniculus! Welcome, Homosec— Ooh, a motorcycle! Oh dear, she's easily distracted by shiny things. I just love motorcycles. So 50s. So James Dean. Are we the bunny without a cause? I'll be anything you want, just get out of my face! Tammy explains that she and her former lab rat companion, Malcolm, set up this place to explore the new relationship dynamics between humans and their pets. And I can't help but notice how she's doing all of the talking while Malcolm just stands there, looking kind of uncomfortable. Malcolm, would you kindly... And then he... Well, I really don't know. Tammy makes a joke about bringing in, unpacking, and dealing with their guest's emotional baggage, and I think Malcolm is pretending to carry said emotional baggage inside, but if that's what he's doing, his arms should be lifted more away from his body, maybe along with a dotted line to indicate the non-existent baggage he's carrying.
That's a better mind position. And otherwise you just think I'm walking. But that's with bags, you see.
I'm getting some major CyberKitties vibes here. This is Noodles in the Rain territory. You don't mess with Noodles in the Rain.
Tammy introduces Sydney and McKay to some of the other herd/pack members. I'm Nia, and that's Sarah. Right now we're doing a bit of role reversal. Mew mew. And I'm pretty sure that Nia here is engaging in the animal equivalent of blackface.
Don't you mean cat face? And yeah, cats are pretty easily offended without human-level intelligence. Are you sure Sarah's okay with this?
After introductions are made, Tammy proposes that they all go through this obstacle course where they rely on each other as equals, which is meant to release the leash. McKay handles the obstacles nicely enough, but he's not as skilled on the badminton court. Release the leash, McKay, not unleash the beast. Lady, you don't know what the beast is. Just be happy that this guy hasn't set this place ablaze with his mind yet. Later that night, Tammy and Malcolm slip away to do something scientific, while McKay regales their new friends with the tale of taking down Buck from the last issue. I guess McKay also has telescopic vision since he sees that something is wrong with Malcolm, who then charges right at McKay and Sydney. He's grown significantly in the short time he's been away from the group, and he can't remember what happened to him between then and now. They figure that Tammy might know what's happened to him, and they follow her scent to a curiously clean outhouse, which is actually a secret entrance to a hidden underground laboratory. Pfft, amateur. If you're gonna hide your secret laboratory in an outhouse, you want to make sure that it's especially filthy so no one will want to go near it. They find a journal entry on Tammy's computer, detailing how she's been working on a serum to reduce animal intelligence, triggering Malcolm's recovered memories about what happened to him. Apparently he went werewolf on her, and she ran off before she could change him back, or worse, before Malcolm could tear her to shreds. He figures that Tammy is hiding in their hedge maze, which means that I have to make this reference. Tammy! You can't get away! I'm right behind ya! Actually, Malcolm is right behind Tammy, and he finds her effortlessly. Meanwhile, the other guests are looking for them too, and I have no idea why. McKay and Sydney didn't go back to them to ask for their help as far as we know. They don't come to their own conclusions that Tammy and Malcolm have been away for a suspiciously long time, so what are they doing out here? Luckily, Sydney and McKay have been following Malcolm a safe distance away. McKay intervenes and appeals to Malcolm's better judgment when he could just easily light him on fire. Before you eat me or do whatever it is you're planning, just think. Do you want your legacy to be scientific or murderous? This makes Malcolm stay his paw. He corners Tammy at a cliff and asks if she has anything to say for herself. Without saying a word, she suddenly leaps off the cliff into the river below, and Malcolm jumps after her. Sydney and McKay climb out onto an overhanging tree, and Malcolm hands Tammy up to them, but they fail to save him, and just when it looks like he's about to go over a waterfall, the other guests suddenly show up in a helicopter and save him by shooting a net around him. Huh? Where did they get a helicopter? When did they establish that any of them could fly a helicopter? Sarah earlier suggested that they call for reinforcements, but reinforcements from where? Is Nia supposed to be a special ops agent who dresses up as a cat in her free time? How did they all find our heroes when they were completely lost the last time we saw them? Several months later, we find Malcolm visiting Tammy in prison, and she finally gives an explanation for her actions. At first, she was excited to see her little lab rat's intelligence expand rapidly before her very eyes, but she soon grew jealous over how it took him only days to learn what took her years. Jealousy is a term I arrogantly refuse to use. Logical minds are not capable of such pettiness. I can appreciate Jamie Parker's declared statement of purpose in creating a world in which mankind is not evil incarnate, but yeah. Unfortunately, we're just always going to have to deal with assholes. Speaking from one artist to another, you want to find yourself a grammar nerd to help you avoid typos and such.
You're welcome, baby.
Tammy's talking to Malcolm here, and I thought that someone from IT was affecting him, not the it of the stress that comes with enhanced intelligence. You found out what this world is about, and it terrified me. Naturally, Malcolm is pissed at Tammy's condescending, pandering bullcrap. He tells her that he only saved her to make sure that she deals with the consequences for her actions, and he and McKay go back to the retreat. It's funny how you can know someone, yet not know them, you know? Thanks for reading. Be sure to join us for the next comic. And I certainly hope there will be a next comic, because despite this issues, I want to see it continue. There were a few plot holes here and there. It has a few writing and format hiccups, but the art is still as appealing as ever, and this material gives us an entire world that I just want to explore. One of the questions this comic wants to ask is, how would we humans react to our pets suddenly being on the same intellectual level as us? And that question has only been addressed so much between these two issues. I'm still curious as to where this can go, and if you are as well, show Jamie Parker some support by buying these comics in the links below, and let's see if we can get a third issue out of him. But until that happens, be sure to tune in next time when we continue with Indie Comics Month 2.
And also, be good to your pets. You don't want to piss them off and end up thrown in jail.
Excellent point. See you later.
We can prance if we want to, strap a tail on our behinds. Cause my friends all prance, and when we all prance, well, the cute blows your mind. Ooh, we can wag if we want to, we spent half our life in line. And we can act like we just escaped from the zoo, leave our real life far behind. And we can prance. We can prance if we want to, suited up and on the prowl. Dressed really neat, fuzzy paws, fuzzy feet, spooking Mondays with a mighty howl. We can bark if we want to, we can yip and purr and growl. And we can flap our wings or bat at strings and party like an animal. We can dance, animals out of control. We can dance, we're bouncing it all in ball. We can dance, everybody put on your badge. We can dance, everybody waiting to pounce. It's a safety prance, well the safety prance. Yeah, the safety prance, well the safety prance. Well the safety prance, oh yes the F.E. prance. Oh it's a safety prance, oh it's a safety prance. Oh it's a safety prance, oh it's a safety prance. Oh it's a safety prance, oh it's a safety prance.
You leave Fluffy Baby alone!
Oh my god, that was adorable. Thank you.
I hate you. Hate, hate, hate. Hate, hate, hate. Loathe entirely.
Hate. Loathe entirely.
Loathe entirely.
Subscribe, like, follow, comment, share, watch more.